to meet my 2 o'clock target. But I'm just about ready here. I'm gonna send out a tweet just in case anybody doesn't know that Saturday is the day for live nail polish things. So far, it might not always be the day. Might one day be a day for video game things also. Get this tweeted. I feel like my lighting is a little goofy, but then that's kind of standard for how I have it set up. It's always slightly goofy. Whoa, Mega, Jackie, Ribbons, everyone, hello. I am just making a couple final adjustments here. I've got both my cameras set up again because I'm going to be... I'm going to do, I think, one more test, because when I tested the ILNPs last time, I didn't test this really golden one, and I think that might make a really nice manicure. And yes, on my nails, can you believe that this is still... Thank you, Jerry. That this is still hanging on. I did this last Sunday, you guys. This thumb Peely came off on, I think, Thursday night or maybe Wednesday night, and I restuck it on. But other than that, and another layer of top coat partway through the week, I am really, really pleased with how this is worn. I'm almost like shocked with how it's worn, actually. So let's actually, I should probably keep this up over here and this up over here so that I can zoom in a bit. Actually, let's scooch the mat. Alright, that should be good. Is the camera also good? So many things, you guys. So many things. Okay, camera's decent. There. Okay, so yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of course, there's my lack of autofocus on this camera. Like, you can kind of tell there's some tip wear, but for a week old and for peel off base coat, this is really... You manicured yourself yesterday? Oh, really? Did this... I'm guessing a Jerry manicure involves just like trimming your nails. If you did anything more than just trim them with a clipper, I'm very, very proud of you, Jerry. Let's get this up here too. Okay. So many windows, and now I have the luxury of 2 screens again, you guys. Playing Hollow Knight and only having 1 screen for all my stream things is so frustrating. More than frustrating, but I can't think of another good word right now. Just the clippers. Okay, so we are going to be taking this off, and I am going to record it because I do usually record when I peel off my manicure. Even though I haven't like included it actually in a video or in a tutorial at all lately, I have vague thoughts of maybe having like a 6 months of Peely compilation or something like that. And I'm going to tell you guys one of my little trade secrets. So to get a really satisfying peel on camera, it helps if I go through first and find the edge on each nail. So like on the pinky, just find that little edge there and go along and find that for each one. Not actually peel it up, but just that first little edge. It's not visible once I get to the video, but it really helps to keep things moving along smoothly. The cuticle work. Yeah, we'll get you a cuticle pusher, Jerry. Commander Root is now following. Thank you so much. That name seems familiar. I don't know why. Maybe you've been in here before. Maybe I've seen you somewhere else before. Jerry. It's like, okay, this would be a cuticle pusher. Of course it has nail polish on it, because all my stuff has nail polish on it. And you use it to push back your cuticles, and that probably sounds like some kind of medieval torture to you, but you want to be, of course, gentle with it, and not do damage to yourself. In fact, maybe I'll give you a brief showing after I peel this off. Starlore, hello! Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I was just saying how I'm like shocked. I did this last Sunday, so this is damn near a full week's wear. And the only nail I had pop off was my right thumb. So, and it's held on for at least a day and a half, maybe 2.5 days. It doesn't intrude on anything. Well, this is true. When you're not painting your nails, you don't have to worry how much cuticle you have. Trey's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Alright, I've got this like goofy water bottle today with this. It's got like a pew super fancy flippy top lid. Because I was downstairs having my pre-stream potty break and I realized I had not brought down my usual jug of my normal jug. Men just don't get cuticles. Cuticles are never welcome here. Yeah. Well, I mean, I keep mine pushed back. It really can vary too. Some people, like my mom, oh my god, you give her like a week and her cuticles would be growing halfway up her nails if she doesn't have polish on. Dang it, camera, I was just about to use you. My regular camera, my Canon, it times itself out. It like turns off if it's, I suppose I could probably actually check it and adjust it, but it's like 5 or 10 minutes, so it'll be like I'm just going to use it, and then it turns itself off. So now that I have that lip on each little nail, it'll be real easy to get them started. And these are coming off, for how well they wore, they're also coming off really nicely. Whoa, it's like strung. You guys see that stretch? The last Peely that I did on stream was like horrible. That's kind of what I was worried about. What I'm always worried about if I get really long wear with a peel off base coat is that it's going to be really stubborn to come off. So to have gotten a whole week and to have it coming off this nicely is kind of a treat. And I was going to take it off midweek and play with my OMG flashback, but that didn't show up until Friday. And then, like, in the poll, it didn't get any votes. So I don't know if nobody's interested or if people are just that much less interested than they were in the fireworks or in the reciprocal gradient. And the reciprocal gradient, too, just because it lost the poll, I mean, it was pretty close for a while. That doesn't mean it's not getting done. It just means it's not getting done today because it's too much on my mind for me to just, like, put it off and completely forget about it. I really want to do it. So I'll have to see how I'm feeling. And I'm just trying to get this little... Can you guys see? Maybe I should move this out of the way. Save these Peelies for a later date. Like there's this residue on my nails, and I like to just get as much of that off as I can with an orange stick. And then once I've, you know, gone over them once that way, I will, probably hit them up with a little bit of polish remover. Stubborn cuticles, Jackie. Yeah, and it really, I mean, it really varies, you know. In most cases, I would say for almost everybody, I would not recommend, like, doing too much when they're dry. Like, right after you get out of the shower is a good time to push them back. Or, you know, if you've cuticle oiled. I'm not a huge fan of like that cuticle remover stuff. You like put it along your cuticle and then it like dissolves your cuticle. I've just never really had a need for that. I mean, I suppose it depends again, like how stubborn your cuticles are. But the other thing that has always made a lot of sense to me is that if you are like too aggressive with your cuticles, they're going to get aggressive right back at you. So whenever I'm pushing mine, I try to keep that in mind and be really gentle with them so that they don't get super tough, like forming a little cuticle callus as a form of like self-defense against your roughness. Less interested now that you've seen another review. Did they like them? They, like I said, they did arrive, and I haven't like side by side compared them yet, just because since I wasn't doing a video on them, it wasn't a priority. But they look really nice in the bottle. They look, as far as companies trying to go back and reclaim former glory, they look really close to the originals. But I still would like to swatch them side by side. Don't dissolve the cuties. The thought of dissolving something attached to you doesn't sound pleasant. Yeah, well, and that's the other thing I was going to mention is like Cuticle Nippers. Like these are really good if you have a hangnail, because like regular clippers, I mean, they're good too, but because the edge of this is so, and it's kind of hard to get it like at a good angle where you can really see, but like because the edge is so narrow and pointy, you can really get close to the skin so that you don't leave a little edge of the hangnail there and then it just gets caught again and then it turns into like a whole bloody situation. But as far as like actually using the cuticle nippers on my cuticles, I very, very rarely do that. Do I not have a... Hold on one second here. Wanted to get just a little bit of cotton and got regular polish remover here just to finish this small amount of cleanup. Luke, hello again. You love your nippers? Well, I love having them, but I mean like, okay, so I haven't really done much to my nails for a week and my cuticles are not like out of control. So if I had more stubborn cuticles, I might want to trim them more. I mean, I definitely can see the appeal, and I'm not going to be like, oh my god, I've never in the world trimmed my cuticles. Because yeah, sometimes if they're looking a bit rough, but it's kind of, I just try to do it as minimally as possible, and you have to really, really be careful. You don't want to get into the meat of your finger, because ouch. But what I really like them for is for like trimming decals and just other, you know, nail polishy things. They're handy to have around. Yeah, they do serve a purpose. Imaginary Bok Shy. Yeah, where's Ninja? Gotta give him some more crap. Of course, I don't even know if he's home right now. And if he's at a friend's house, I should not even peripherally encourage him to ignore them to come watch my stream. But yeah, I think you're right, Starlore, and I'm pretty sure, you know, Anna from Bliss Kiss, she has a blog and she has a series where she talks about, you know, different nail care and different nail care. I'm just getting like the underside of my nails, you guys, as I'm chatting here, where, you know, as you wrap the tip, you're inevitably going to get some on the underside of your nail, and I just like to clean it up. But on Anna's blog series, I feel like I'm nearly certain that she's covered that. And so if you go on there and search either cuticle, or I think the correct actual term is like I know this, I feel like it starts with a P. Like, the cuticle is just the layman's term. Like, it's got a real name to it. He is still visiting friends, Jerry? Yeah. An extra growth there by pinking that makes it look crooked. Yeah, I mean, like, for me, see, I would turn on the autofocus, except it's just janky, just trust me. So you have to just accept this slightly out of focus. Like, this is my, my right middle finger, and it's where I have the excess pigment in my nail, and it's also where I have my, my writer's bump callus. And the cuticle right there has a tendency to, I mean, sometimes I even think that the callus probably contributes to the pigment there. No, anybody, it's not cancer. I've had my doctor look at it. It's just a little dark spot on my nail. It's been there as long as I can remember. And, but sometimes the nail there does seem slightly different, and the cuticle, either due to that or due to the callus, does tend to grow slightly wonky. So sometimes it does need some extra attention, and if there's one that I'm likely to have to trim a little bit of the cuticle, I would say it's probably that one. Oh, I'm hot too, you guys. I'm sorry if I'm like, if I have a glow on camera. It's pretty hot here still today. It's supposed to rain later and like break the heat wave. Yesterday it was like 99 degrees and heat index of 110, and it's not that bad today, but it's still warm enough that I do have my air conditioner on and my AC is struggling. So, okay, let's get this cup here now that we've got our polish off, and we're going to do one test before we get started on the tutorial. Yes, okay, so it didn't start with a P, but it started with a E and then a P. Yeah. Epinicium. Yeah. Completely. I don't know if I even finished talking about that. Somebody on YouTube complained that I'm too scattered during my live streams, and I was like, sorry. It definitely does serve a purpose. Check out Anna's article that I think exists, or I mean like Google. But especially if you cut it, I think it's a place where bacteria can get in and cause problems. If you've ever had like an abscessed nail, or like something gets in at like the side of your cuticle or the bottom of your cuticle, and you get an abscess on your nail, it's like super not fun, and infections can also cause that. I'm not sure if the camera, yeah, there it is. At least that one is picking up. There's a little, probably beanie hair, 2 of them floating in the water, so I'm just going to try and get those out. And make sure my orange sticks are clean. I just poured a little bit of acetone in my usual little wasabi dish. And I'm less worried than usual about keeping the water like completely clean, because the veil technique is a little bit more forgiving than, you know, trying to build and work a bullseye. The skin is an amazing organ. Too lazy to actually look. Sometimes too, I still feel, I mean, this is my like obligatory daily, I'm sorry that I'm not doing a great job at keeping up with chat. It's like sometimes I'll start reading backwards and I feel like that's a little bit weird. But sometimes it's easier to figure out what I have and haven't read. Anyway, we're gonna test for size. It's a very golden scattered hollow. And we're gonna just drop 1 drop of it in here. Let it spread out and let it dry. And what we're gonna be working on is, a couple weeks ago, we played around with the other colors from ILNP that I have. And they didn't all turn out equal, but I really like this pink one and this turquoise one as far as looking like fireworks. And I'm hoping the gold also works, and then that'll give me like 3 different colors to play around across all my nails with. Yeah, I was like, you know, it's not for everyone. this? Let's try it. Let's try and give this a pinch. And I'm not a huge fan of the shape this took, but this is just to test how it works and try to hopefully... God, you're stuck on there. No, come off. That did not pinch well at all. Okay, it's only a test. We're just gonna have to deal with that. I told him, you know, if you want to see something that's more focused, that's why I'm still doing the normal tutorials. You know, something a little bit more edited. If I get off topic, I can just edit that part out. So I think that turned out pretty nice with the gold. So we're going to be using Versailles, which is this. I think I want to use... I'm pretty sure that this turquoisey looking one is Easy Street. And then this, the pink one, I'm pretty sure has to be Rosewater. Yeah, that's it. I should have probably labeled them when I did it. I didn't. So, but I mean, I kind of put them in their rainbow order-ish. So yes, we're going to be going with gold, pink, and turquoise teal-ish. And managed to... I had the other ones out here too, just as I was looking back at the testing. And I probably could get some better results than what I got during the testing. Like some of these, it's not that the polish... I mean, these are all very, very similar formulas, so it's not completely that the polish is not cooperating, it's that... God, I feel like maybe I should try the purple one again, too. I mean, more colors are better, but more colors could also make things more complicated. Part of it is just that the veil can be very picky with how you pinch it together. And, like in this case, I got kind of a hole in the middle. I don't know. It'll depend on where I'm placing the firework on my nail, whether that hole actually makes much of a difference. I'm thinking some nails will get at least 2. I don't know if I'm going to have them overlapping or just like, you know, like one coming in at the corner and one coming in at the cuticle. I need to think about that before I actually get to that part. So we'll just stick these up here at the top of my match in case I change my mind. Probably we're going to go with those 3. I feel like 3 colors is a good amount to work with. And, yeah, we'll see how it works out. Dry off the mat here. And I expect there to be a lot of failed veils because it's tricky, but I'm also hoping that since some of them I'm not going to be using the whole thing, that some that might otherwise be fails will in fact be salvageable. I thought Beanie came in here at the start of stream. He must have ditched out again. Let me see if I can call him in here. That may or may not work. He's like a very stubborn little dog. He definitely knows English. I mean, he knows a lot of words. But whether he's in the mood to listen is another story. Coney, hello. Thank you for joining us. My rhyming skills, yeah. So yeah. Kind of like last time I did this, I think those of you that are familiar with my tutorials will probably be able to tell when I'm tutorialing and when I'm just recording and talking to you guys. Because there's a lot of the tutorial that I end up, you know, speeding up and sticking music over, or not even recording in the first place. So I'm going to give my nails I'll swipe just with some acetone. Make sure they're nice and clean, nice and dry before I get started. And I don't often immediately paint my nails after I take my polish off, but it's a habit that I'm trying to get back into because 99% of the time when I break a nail, it's when they're naked. So I'm really, since I right now don't have any patches on, I'm really trying to be mindful of that and hopefully prevent any breaks. Oh, I was going to show Jerry about pushing cuticles, but my cuticles don't really need it. It'll have to be a later date, Jerry, sorry. You won't learn how to push your cuticles today, Jerry, I'm sorry. Yeah, the nail placement process. I mean, like, sometimes I don't necessarily plan everything out, but a lot of times I do, especially if I'm going for random placement, because trying to intentionally make something random is kind of difficult. It's like, you know, planned randomness doesn't always work out. So sometimes, and two, you have to make the call, you know, do I want both my hands to be equally random? Yeah, it's a very important life skill, Jerry. Yeah, my thumbs especially were a huge problem area for me, because when a lot of the times, not just my thumbs, but other nails too, when I get a break, it'll go right, you know, right at that spot where the nail bed meets the free edge. And it's really difficult because, I mean, especially when you've got a curved smile line, or that's got a fancy name for it too, or basically where the free edge starts in layman's terms. You don't want to cut it off down there because, number one, you probably don't want to cut your nails that short. Number two, you can't cut it straight across if the break's way down here. Number three, even if you cut it like right at the smile line, when you're used to having long nails and you expose that little tip of your nail that's used to being covered up, or the tip of your finger that's used to being covered up by the nail, it's like the most tender, delicate skin on your body, and everything in the world is weird. Anybody that's had long nails and lost that protection knows what I'm talking about, because it just feels like wearing a dress with no undies or something. Like, it just feels naked and wrong. So I try to always, like, prevent a break or do a patch to keep from exposing that very tender nail tip area. And the other thing I found, when you get breaks, like, at that point, it's like, that's the point where the nail really wants to bend. Like, if it's gonna bend, that's where it wants to bend. And so sometimes even a patch doesn't, like, it's hard to keep a patch for a long period of time. It wants to bend there, you get a little bit of bend, and the patch fails, and then you either have to cut it after all, or repatch it. And so, what is that? What is that emote? Panic! I love that. Daggit! Hello! Got all the porch fam. Well, not all the porch fam. Got a good portion of porch fam. And for my viewers, that's the name for Jerry's community. We'll have a good community name one day, you guys, I promise. Do not go around naked, yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna get started with the base coat. You guys know this drill. And if you watch the tutorial later, you'll be able to see the difference between streaming with audio filters and just recording on my camera with no audio filters. Starting out with clean, dry nails, we're going to begin with a base coat. Today I'm using Ready for Takeoff, which is a peel-off base, and you can use whichever is your personal favorite. my bottle of Ready for Takeoff is actually getting kind of low, but I think I should probably check on that. I think I have a new bottle somewhere, but I'm not sure where. My completely disorganized stash strikes again. Like, it's few sensations more frustrating than knowing you have something and not knowing where you can put hands on it. Like, not remembering where you stored it, or where you know, oh, this is the most logical place to keep this till I need it. And then you're like, man, the crew. I have to admit, I'm slightly biased against that word. You know, everybody kind of has words that they don't like for whatever reasons. Kind of the same thing with names. I used to, the place I used to work was called Crew 2. So, I'm probably not going to start calling you guys the crew. Wait, you weren't ready. KJD, hello. Or should I call you Radcliffe? Or maybe it's KGDR Adcliffe. But I doubt that. The Sea Crew. You lose everything that's not in front of you, Daggett. Well, it's just like, I don't know. Like, part of it too is like, and it's something, like we were talking about the couple of streams ago, hoarders. A lot of hoarders are actually perfectionists. Which is, perfection is the enemy of progress. Because you get in a place where if you can't do it quote unquote right, that you don't do it at all. And guess what? You don't do it at all, and all of a sudden you're living in a hoarder house. So I really try to be mindful not to have that mindset, like, but I know that I do anyway. I mean, even like my current situation with my my nail polish collection, like not wanting to move on to a next step in organizing it until I finish the first step. Like, on the one hand, that's really logical, that's smart. Of course you want to finish one thing first, and on the other hand, it's like, okay, you're not finishing this, so you're not making any progress at all. Couldn't you at least start on this other thing and make a little bit of progress in another area? Oh, that's perfectly fine, Coney. Yes. Yes, exactly as Mega said. We appreciate lurkers here. Lurkers make the world go round. I hesitated to stream because I lurk so often. I don't always have something to say, or maybe somebody else says it, so I don't feel the need to also say it. But by turning off a little bit of my internal filter, I managed to find enough to say during stream. Always doing more than one thing at a time. That also. Attempting to be organized. Attempting and failing. You guys can't see, but beyond this little area, psh, it's disaster, you guys. Yes. I went through a phase actually earlier this year, Daggett, where I was watching Hoarders every day, and while I was watching Hoarders, I was cleaning. Space is kind of limited, so a lot of stuff I didn't use frequently, I had boxed up, and I went through a lot of my boxes, and I was like, well, this has been boxed up for how many years? Do I even really still need to keep this? And in some cases, the answer was yes. Like, you know, I came across my NES and my Genesis and my Sega CD, and sure, I haven't touched those in probably 10 years or more, but I'm not going to get rid of that. That's still good stuff. Whereas other things, like my broken childhood piggy bank, did not need to be kept. And one kind of trick, if you want to call that, like if you hesitate to get rid of something because it's, you know, memories attached, it's, you know, whatever, is take a picture of it. And so a lot of things I took a picture of and didn't necessarily throw away. Some of it was still good. Have a lot of places we can donate around here, so stuff that was suitable to donate, I did. But, King, hello! You are welcome to lurk here. Yes, the Combat King, you guys. So yeah, cleaning is good, but cleaning is hard. Also because if you're working in a small space like me, it's like, oh, I need to do X. I don't have room to do X, so I need to move Y first. Well, where am I going to move Y? I don't have any other place to put Y, and you end up going kind of... that might have looked inappropriate. So let's do it again. I don't know. You just have to find a way to do something, and if you do a little tiny something long enough, all of a sudden you'll begin to see progress. Yeah, never get rid of consoles. And, like, old computer stuff, too. Like, my last computer, prior to the one I have right now, died. It, like an actual blue screen of death, except I think it was just a black screen, and, like, what was not savable, other than the hard drive. I actually, I disassembled it and pulled out the hard drive and got some wires and cords that allowed me to pull everything off the hard drive, because it was a time when I was not properly backed up. Back up your computers, people. Like, so seriously. Back up your computers. Or one day, you will have a moment that sucks so bad. But my computer before that was actually still working when I got rid of it. It was just working at such a slow pace, and the hard drive was full. And it was old, and, you know, it just needed to be replaced. But, like, that's in the corner right over there. And along with that was the monitor for that computer, which is now sitting right next to me with chat on it. It was sitting in the corner for probably 5 years until I had a moment when I needed 2 monitors, and now I've managed to pull it out and cram it onto my desk. So, your closet... yeah, I will admit that too. I mean, it's like a combination of stuff that's like, well, maybe I'll fit into this again, or I'd like to fit into this again, which I'm not going to comment on the realisticness of me fitting into any of those things, but another big portion of my closet is actually like business, more businessy type of stuff, like slacks instead of jeans, dressier skirts, that sort of thing. And, I mean, I haven't really used much of that since I quit my office job, but, like, if stuff doesn't pick up in the near future, I only have so much savings to try to put toward my goal of, you know, doing nail art and artistic things full time, so at some point, I may have to go back to freaking an office job, which just, like, makes me shudder, but I don't want to get rid of those clothes and then have to go shopping for stuff again. Plus, it's like some really cute stuff, you guys. Like, I have so many cute clothes that I don't wear. It's not even funny. The MSLP lewd. I know. Except that day comes, you most likely go. No, I mean, it's like a lot of, like basic, good basic stuff. Not like a bunch of trendy stuff that's like, oh, that's so last season. Oh my god. Like, it's just like some really nice, and especially for me, I'm tall. I have a hell of a time finding pants long enough for me to wear. Hello there. Pants long enough for me to wear, and let alone wear with like some heels. I mean, shoes are a whole nother thing. You guys see up there, the whole top of that closet? That's shoes, and that's not most of my shoes. Most of my shoes are in a rack out in the hallway. And what do I wear most days? Flip-flops. Groovy 60s, 70s digs. MSLP Valley Girl. Yeah. Oh my god. Gag me with a spoon. My base coat is well and dried now, you guys. What? Cheering? Starlore! Cheer, 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 cheer. Thank you so much for your bits. Two pairs of shoes? What? What? Jerry. I hope you let Ribbons have more than 2 pairs of shoes, Jerry, or she's gonna leave you. I mean, like, okay, so I know I just said I was gonna do the base coat, but I have to show you this. So, like, this is like a fit flop. They're like these really comfortable flip-flops, right? So I have a black pair. I have a black pair with shiny studs on them. I have a black pair with sequins on them. I have a bronze pair with sequins on them. I have a silver pair with sequins on them. I have a lavender pair. These are just flip-flops, you guys. Like, once you get into, like, cute wedges or boots, like boots, you gotta have short boots, you gotta have tall boots, you gotta have brown boots, you gotta have black boots. Gray boots are a bonus. Boots with heels, boots without heels. Like, shoes. Shoes are next to nail polish on the list of shit that I love. But, like, realistically, I'm not wearing most of that cute shoes because I'm not wearing most of my cute clothes. For Colette's never having to go back to work fund. Yes. Yes. Please donate to the Don't Make Colette Go Back to an Office Job fund. Although even if I did, you know, sometimes it's like, God, what did I, you know, was this a bad idea? Trying to do this? Like, you know, I tried to be smart about it. Like I said, I saved up quite a bit of money so that I wasn't dependent on my YouTube earnings and stuff. But even if I have to go back to an office job one day, I'm glad that I left the place that I was, because I feel like it was way too stressful for my own mental health. Tons of nepotism and just like not a real healthy work environment. So, yeah. One day, maybe I'll put that as like an incentive one. Like I've sat here and thought, like in my wildest dreams of Twitch stardom, like, people do, you know, whatever follower specials or whatever sub specials. Like, what kind of a special would I do? Going through all my shoes would make, well, I think, an awesome special. Maybe some of you guys would also agree with me. Maybe the boys in the chat would completely just sit there and scratch their head. The boots with the fur. I don't actually have any boots with the fur. Isn't that sad? I've got probably a dozen pairs of boots and none with fur. Low. Okay, black. Today we are using, well, you'll see. I'm going to talk about it as I'm recording a tutorial. I'm getting to it, I promise. Splashed almost directly up my nose. Alright, here. Yes, shoe tour. But I mean, it's not like they go bad, Jerry. Shoes are a better investment than clothes because your feet don't change size every couple years. And most women are going to fluctuate at least a little bit. Oh, wait. Do I want to... I usually... See now, you guys are distracting me. I really got to decide. 3 colors or 4 colors? Like, I'm for sure on these 3. I'm using these. Should I try and use the purple also? Like, it came out janky on its test, but I think part of that is because we were trying to do a double pinch on that one. When I get Twitch famous. Bought Ribbons a pair of boots years ago. She was in love. Time to pull them boots out tonight, Ribbons. Polished shoes and purses. See, now purses, I kind of get it. If I could get my existing purse in a couple different colors, maybe. But I'm too lazy to be like moving all my shit in between purses. Unless you get, like, I remember on QVC they used to have a thing and it was just like you pull out this whole interior thing and then you would just stick it in whichever purse you wanted to match your outfit. You broke them in. Alright, we're gonna try and do purple. Alright. So we'll line these up like this. Alright. That slightly back on there. Okay. Have to make sure we're talking sense when we're recording things. The colors that I'll be using for the fireworks are from ILNP. We have Versailles, which is gold, Rosewater, which is kind of a duochrome pink. We have Easy Street, which is sort of turquoise, and Chit Chat, which is more lavender. Then for my base color, I'll be using Orly Liquid Vinyl. Alright, get the first couple nails painted here in a goodly amount of time. It depends like what exactly sort of tutorial. I like to show a little bit of the nail painting, but not too much of the nail painting unless it's something like a little bit more interesting than plain black. Remember this the next time your boyfriend wants a tool. Dude, if I had a boyfriend, he could have as many tools as he wanted. As long as he, like, used the tools. And I know you're gonna say, but y'all don't wear the shoes. But, like, tools are freaking more expensive than shoes. In some cases. And, like, if you have all these tools and then, like, something breaks and you don't want to fix it, that's not cool. I think you're probably a pretty handy guy, though, Jerry. Not all dudes are handy at all. Like, and that's okay. But don't, like, try to get the tools just so you can front in front of your friends. Like, oh yeah, look at my, look at all my craftsmen. Serious voice. Yeah, actually, I mean, I'm not the handiest person, but I think I get by better than some. I don't want to say better than most, because, like, I don't know that many people, but, like, when you see that there's, like, oh crap, can you guys see that we've got a little intruder here? When you see people that, like, can't even assemble something from IKEA. I bet this is from the Q-tip. I should have filed that little rough spot. There we go. People that can't even assemble something from IKEA. And people that can't do the simplest of things. Like, I got an A in shop. I know how to run power tools and shit. So I actually did get some tools for Christmas one year from my grandpa. And I've still got it. It was just like a basic, nice, you know, hammer, both kinds of screwdrivers, you know, different sizes of wrenches and those types of things. But that's something that every house should have. And not every house does, and sometimes it's not even their fault. I mean, if you're trying to put food on the table, you may not have time or may not have money to go purchase yourself a nice set of screwdrivers. It keeps it from powering your tools and never bringing them back. An instruction reader. Yes! Like your car manual. Like, my mom finally got a newer car a couple months ago. She had been rolling around in this 88 Volvo station wagon that was like not great. We'll just leave it at that. Anyway, and a couple times and I've ridden with her and she's like, I wonder how to do that. And I'll tell her, I bet it says in your car manual. And she's like, I'm gonna read it. I'm going to. But I don't know. I've just always been that type of a person. Of course, I mean, it's harder with nails, but it's not impossible. I still haven't completely ruled out the Helmer stream. I don't know how interesting that really would be. Or like my desk, which is a pretty big desk, I assembled myself. It came in two, like the boxes that they came in looked like there was like a door or something in them. Two big long boxes with the desk and then the top hutch part. And yeah, I put that together myself, and that's probably the handiest I have ever felt. So, kind of was messy over here. Liquid vinyl is pretty opaque. I probably could even have gotten away with one coat if I was a little more careful. But I am going to go ahead and do two in just a minute here. Sometimes in between coats, I'll go up and just touch up any little weird spots. Oh, I should have mentioned this too. I almost forgot. I'm glad I remembered myself before I got to the actual dipping part. I've got some of the yellow stopper just to help the firework veils stick on the nail. And hopefully that will work. The one good thing about the veils is that because they are mostly dry, like when you dip your nail, we're not going to have to mess around with any Simply Peel or any protection, because it doesn't really stick on your skin. Whoa, that was very sloppy. Sometimes I swear to God, you guys, painting neatly is like the hardest thing. I don't know. After this long, I would think I'd be better at it, but I'm not. Sometimes it's the consistency of the polish, because different brands do have slightly different consistency. Sometimes if I'm like growing out my nails, or if I've just recently cut them, that can make it harder to paint, because like you get used to sort of loading a certain amount of polish on the brush, and if you drastically change your nail length, you're gonna have to change that amount of polish. Like when I do my mom's nails, I always like have to very, very consciously like wipe off so much polish because her nails are so tiny. Oh, and this is still going also. Let's turn that off. Oh, when I'm doing both hands at once, I try to be very, very careful. And I'm trying to like move stuff in the background too, because sometimes if I just am not paying close attention, I'll just like bash my nail into a bottle that's like sitting off to the side or something. And then when I'm done, the top coat that I use is the real lifesaver, because it gets your manicure dry to the touch within like 5 minutes. So your nails are dry enough to, like, let's say, safely go to the bathroom and pull your pants back up. It's not going to be fully dry right away, but it dries fast enough to prevent most mishaps. Because otherwise, yeah, I used to just have to sit afterwards, and I would try to sit with both my hands like flat on my legs. Not so that as a reminder, don't try to grab anything, don't try to touch anything, don't try to scratch your head. Yeah, this little miracle maker, my favorite nail polish thing ever, I think. Well, and it depends which Sally Hansen top coat. I have seen some people that really like certain of their top coats, but they've got so many different lines. I really personally love Seche Vite. Okay, you guys, so how are we going to lay these out on the nails? I like these next to each other. I really like I'm thinking quietly to myself. Yes, usable, not gouge proof. Yeah. A game changer is exactly. Let me carefully over here. See, that was not careful enough. You're just asking how I prevent doing stuff, and can you see on that pinky nail, I like sliced a piece of paper against it, trying to get out this little note paper. So, in this case, I mean, this is just the base color, it's not super important. I'm just gonna, like, literally swipe over it and cover it up. Yeah, I would recommend Seche Vite ribbons. It's a little bit on the expensive side. Lately I buy mine on Amazon and get like an extra large refill jug, and it's extra cheap. Otherwise, I would say, I don't know if you guys have a Sally's nearby you, or if you have a Sally membership course. When I first got my Sally membership, I feel like it gave you some huge discounts on stuff, and you still get discounts, but it seems like they're much smaller now. So, we have 4 colors, we have 5 nails per hand. Some nails are going to have 2 colors. Some nails are only going to have 1 color. I think I'm going to stay away from overlapping them for this time, because I want you to be able to kind of see more of the bursty pattern. I'm mentally reviewing where I really want these to go. So, okay, again, very carefully. And sometimes, like, when I'm in the middle of a manicure and I need to do stuff, I'll use tools. Like, I'm using the scissors to get this pencil out from underneath these other piles of paper so that I'm not, like, digging in stuff. And what we're going to do here, this is going to be the left, and this is going to be the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and this is like this, and this is like that. Does that make sense? Yeah, I want to say that the this is like 20 or 30 bucks, and it's a regular like 0.5 ounce bottle, and then a large 4 fluid ounce bottle, so that's like the equivalent of 8 bottles. And plus then that allows me to, it's kind of hard to see at an angle, but can you see that it's like very full, which not only seems to keep it from getting thick, but obviously makes it easier when you're doing your nails, because few things more frustrating than when you like are trying to tilt that bottle just to get enough to cover your nails. Well, I'm very carefully, like when I hold the pen, keep it away from my nails. This black is definitely not fully dry. Like, I'm trying to think, like this one, whoa, can you see that? It's kind of hard. You can probably see that it's not shiny like the other ones anymore. I basically just left a big fingerprint in it. And that's not a big deal in this case, because I'm going to be doing the veil on top of it and then top coat. And since it's just black, you won't be able to tell that. But this is definitely not dry yet. I just have skills. So, on my left hand, I think I'm going to want some purple on the ring finger, the whole finger, gold on the thumb, the whole finger. On the middle finger, we're going to do pink down in the corner, and then blue up here. And then, wait, maybe I didn't think this out enough. And then more purple. Oh yeah, maybe we'll do a cross of blue there, so it'll look like the same firework, and then we'll do more purple down here. And then We're gonna be able to fit 2 on the pinky. We might only be fitting 1 on the pinky. Just visualizing again, bear with me, guys. Yeah, we'll do a little bit, we'll do 1 in the corner. So like this, well, it's upside down for you guys. Like picture these as like quadrants of the nail. And in this case, it's like right in the middle. Like that. I don't know if this makes sense to anybody but me. And then like on this hand, do I actually wanna... I think for this hand, we'll do kind of the opposite. We'll do purple, purple. We'll do gold on the ring finger. We'll do blue. We'll do pink. And then we'll do purple on the thumb. And then, well, of course, and then maybe pink on the pinky. We'll call this our loose plan. Okay. MSLP skills. You wish Mobile Twitch had BTTV. Yeah, you know, I'm so used to having FFZ and BTTV that sometimes I don't even know when I'm using which one's features or a Twitch feature. Egyptian hieroglyphs. Okay, so we're gonna put this kind of right next to me where I can easily reference it. We're gonna keep the ILNPs, and I'm just arranging these like all facing the same direction because I'm slightly OCD like that. And get the water back out here. I feel like I'm not fully happy with how I have the right hand laid out. What did I do differently? Sorry, not talking because I'm distracted. I think it's because I did like that. Oh well, we'll go with it. We need to just do stuff like this. This is like the most minor part of this manicure, so I need to not obsess over it. We're gonna start with the gold. And do I have... yeah. Make sure I've got my orange sticks ready. Make sure I've got my acetone ready. These are both clean. Okay. Barbie here? Yeah, I haven't seen it. She could be lurking, of course. Even people that are regularly chatters are welcome to lurk if that's what they need to do at the moment. Or could be watching soccer. Is that still going on? I think it is. Or could be watching GDQ. I've been watching a lot of that this week. So, alright, we're gonna do a little bit more tutorial. Whoa. Chill out here, camera. No, actually... there. Make sure both the cameras are showing both of the things. Like this. Okay. Okay. I feel very nervous with the veil technique in comparison to regular water marbling. I don't feel like I have any I don't feel like I have enough experience with it. But we're gonna give it a go. Oh no, nope, 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 nope. Yes. Can't believe I almost forgot this again. Let's get a little closer here. Okay. Before I start making the veils, I'm just going to add a coat of yellow stopper onto my nails, and that's just going to give them a little bit of stickiness to allow the veils to stick to them better. Because otherwise, you guys, the veils, I think some of you that were here when I did the testing will remember there was one that actually, like, didn't even want to stick to the paper at all, like practically fell off of the paper when I tried to dip it in. So you can see that fingerprint I made to show Jerry this wasn't dry. I mean, even just the yellow stopper makes that go away invisible. Do I want to do my other hand? Yeah, might as well. Might as well get it out of the way. And that little fix that I did on the pinky is also now invisible. I haven't actually watched any of the World Cup stuff, but I kind of almost wish that I was into soccer because it seems like it's been a lot of upsets and a lot of really exciting matches. So this stuff, Jerry, is it's supposed to be a base coat. It's called yellow stopper. It's supposed to keep your nails from staining. And I honestly don't even know how it works as a base coat. Some people have claimed that 2 layers of this will make a good peel-off base coat, but it's not supposed to be a peel-off base coat. But what it's more often used for is like to make a tacky layer, because like when polish starts to dry, it like there's a point when it's sticky, but this is slightly sticky when it's fully dry. So when I dip into the veiled pattern in the water, even though that's going to be dry, this should help it to actually stick onto my nail. At least that's the cross my fingers. Hard to cross your fingers without touching wet nails together, I will say that. Hopefully that stuff will do the trick. And now we are ready for actual veiling, or actually marbling. Come on, camera. Alright. Are we in focus here? Hello. Okay. As usual for water marbling, I'm working in a 5-ounce paper cup filled with room temperature filtered water, but that's about where the similarities end. We're going to be adding in just 1 drop of polish, letting it spread out, and then letting it mostly dry. We're kind of waiting for it to get to a tacky state where you can then go in and pinch it together. I'm going to be using 2 orange sticks. You may find it easier to use like Q-tips or cotton swabs or some other little tool. The main thing you're going to have to be careful of is that you don't want them to get stuck in the design. And I'm just kind of touching the surface to see how dry the polish is. I think we're almost ready to pinch it here. And just with a very light touch, go for each side and pull them together like that. Okay, this is slightly stuck. We're going to just try to carefully remove it. And that looks like it worked pretty well. Now I could just go ahead and dip my nail in here. I'm actually going to try and pull this side slightly closer together. Like that. Can you please stick? So that hopefully the pull lines aren't as obvious. We'll see if that actually worked or if that was pointless in just a minute here. because it is just one layer, it can be hard to tell. I do not have any protection on. This should not stick to my skin if it reacts like last time. And I'm just looking to get that centered pretty much in the middle of my thumbnail. As you see, you don't need to clean off the surface. And as I pull my thumb out, there is the veil design. So I'm just going to shake my hand free of water off to the side there. And this may be sticking up a little bit, so with a very light touch, just go ahead and kind of press it down with your finger and wipe off any water as necessary on your napkin. And that's pretty clean. I see a little tiny hole in the middle here, and I think once I finish with all my nails, I'll go back and maybe fill that in with just a dot of polish. Now, I'm going to go with my cleanup brush kind of around the edge to kind of break the veil there. Like that. And then, hopefully, if this works like last time, this is not stuck to my skin. There we go. And we can just pull it right off. And, like that. There's your little bit of residue. I'm trying to recall if I actually tried using latex the first time I did this, and I think I did, but as you see, it's not really necessary. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat that on all my nails. Some nails will have just one firework, and some are going to have a couple. So that was actually kind of slick, you guys. I really like how that one turned out. I think I'm going to go ahead and try and finish up all the gold ones first, and then move on to the other colors. There is. It's slightly raised, Jackie. That's why I tapped it down just a little bit. And I think I may have done 2 layers of top coat last time also. I probably should have reviewed my own video before getting started with this, or the original video, or she might even have a new one by now. Oh, I've got quite a bit on the underside of my nail here. I didn't even notice. Just kind of peel this off while I'm waiting for the other one to dry. This is the kind of the time-consuming part of this technique, is that, you know, you kind of have to wait for it to be that perfect consistency where it's dry enough to wrinkle but still wet enough to stick together. And in this case, I'm kind of looking at how it's spread out in the cup, and sometimes it's kind of hard because, as you just saw, I turned the cup and like the design didn't turn in the water at all. I want a nice round edge because I'm only going to be using half of this pinch. So, come on, let go. There. And I wanted this one pretty small because I want this one to go on the corner of my pinky. So, okay, if I want this on the outside corner of my pinky, I need to kind of pull it this direction. I'm aiming for this little part. That might even be more than I thought. We might get more than we bargained for here, you guys. Yeah, this is actually slightly almost too big for what I want, but we're gonna go for it. Like that. And then try to keep it from folding over on itself. And, well, you know, this is not ideal, perhaps. You see, right here is the center of the pinch. So I kind of did get about the portion that I wanted. I don't know if it looks as fireworksy as I wanted. But the other thing is, we're not really going to know what this looks like until we get to the end and we add that top coat. Because that's when these hollows, I think, are really gonna come to life. Yeah, that's not horrible. I feel like it's not quite as nice as the one on my thumb. Oh, you guys barely could see this. I'm like finally looking up at OBS. Like compared to how it looks on my camera. Well, it's still okay. I completely lost track of what I was doing here. Okay, we're gonna do one more gold. And then we'll see. We'll move on to the other colors. I'm probably gonna have to stop my camera and start it again because my lovely camera can only record segments of up to 10 minutes. Yeah, I mean, really, Jackie, it almost is a decal right away. You probably could pull the whole thing out of the water. You know, maybe I should try that. Maybe not on this one. The full nail ones almost seem a little bit easier to dip than the partial nail ones. Just because you're not... Like, I was trying to be very conscious of where that edge was on my pinky because I definitely wanted some of the black still showing. Dinosaur, hello. No, Jerry, that one I just want on part of the nail. Some other ones I'm actually going to have one coming from different corners, but I don't think the pinky's quite big enough to pull that off. So for this one, we'll go ahead and pinch it. And then I'm going to pull the corners slightly together like I did for that thumb, because that seemed to work pretty well. And this one is going on my right index nail. So let's... See, now this one, you guys see how peaked and pointed that is? Right at the center of the veil. So I'm definitely going to need to press it down just slightly. The very light touch. Like, you don't want to be like gouging away at it, but you can kind of see now it's a little bit flatter. Yes, veil technique fireworks, Dinosaur. I kind of wanted to do something else because I got distracted by this color combination that I saw, and I was like, oh my god, I need to do something in that. And I was like, well, wait, I told people I was going to do another 4th of July design, so I put it in a straw poll and put it up for voting, and fireworks narrowly won. So let's... Yeah, and this is still... Like, there's a lot of water on the nail, too. Oh, and my camera just finished its little segment. But you can see how I pressed it down, and now we don't have that little... kind of want to call it a nipple in the middle of the nail. So, I need to just look at my design guide one more time here. Because I still feel like I might want to change a couple things on my right hand. So, oh, I see. No, okay, we're gonna go with that. We're gonna continue to go with that. The nipple looks weird. Oh, go ahead and borrow it, Dinosaur. Borrow it and do better. I still feel like, I said just a minute ago, I have no confidence with this technique. I feel like I'm still, like, on the bottom part of the learning curve. I mean, this is only... Oh. Okay, that was almost bad. This is only the second manicure that I've done with this design. And, you know, 2 other, like, testing sessions that I did. I did quite a bit of testing for the black one that I originally did. And the testing that I originally did for this. So... Hello, boyo. Thank you for joining us. So, next we're going to move on to purple. Hopefully purple cooperates, you guys. For those of you who were not with us earlier, purple was the late comer to our color story today. because purple did not work out well during the testing, but purple is my favorite color. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous polish, and so we're basically crossing our fingers that it behaves for the firework. Is that proper? Is one a firework, or is any amount of fireworks? Right in the middle of cool and warm. Yes! I mean, I don't know if that's personally why I have it as my favorite color. I kind of remember as a kid my favorite color being orange, which I don't know if I would say it's my least favorite color now, but it's nowhere near the top as far as like colors that I love. I love purple. I love turquoise and teal. I'm not a huge fan of yellow, but I do love gold. I mean, obviously, I kind of love all colors, but orange is not at the top of the list anymore. Again, we're just making sure we want that perfect, or as close to perfect as possible, a neutral. Consistency where we're going to get good wrinkles and decent sticking. I have a little bit of sense of deja vu here, probably from when we did all the testing. Alright, so we're gonna pinch. We're gonna release. Come on, let go. We're gonna do some side pinching. Like that. I don't think the other side needs a pinch. We're just gonna go ahead and dip in. Whoa. Whoa. You still okay? It's okay. That's not horrible. We've got quite a... kind of harder to see on this one, but another one with a very large peak. That's an appropriate word. It's still a little bit messy. I don't know if I'm completely pleased with that, but it's on my nail now. I mean, it's not like the worst thing ever. Ooh, a duochrome would be pretty. I wasn't planning on it right now, but maybe if we have some time at the end, we could do a little bit of testing. I thought that the the holo, as far as being for fireworks, was really suitable. And I did a little testing with the gold color that I first used because I hadn't tested that the first time around. But yeah, I think duochrome would also work really well for the veil technique. Were you here when we did the testing the first time around, Dinosaur? A couple weeks ago? We also tested during that stream doing the veil with more than one color, which was something that was on my list. And I would still like to try it again, but it was not hugely successful. And I think the reason for that is that like when you have more than one drop, you're not having as thin of a layer. And so when you pinch it together, the wrinkles in the veil aren't as obvious as when you have just one layer that's being wrinkled into thicker layers. So you didn't get as much of the veiliness, if that's a word. Topcoat makes everything better. It does. It really does. I'm gonna need some more acetone here in a minute, because acetone. What? You're already. Oh, you're full! How are you full, camera? Well, shit. I don't have time to mess with it immediately right now, because we need to make sure we catch this. We do have time to put out a little bit more acetone. I wonder... God, did I, like, record something and forget about it? That happens. I mean, it does. Okay. I maybe could have made that a bit smaller. Let go. So, this veil, we're going to be aiming for this corner of my index finger. So I don't want to... I want to have room for a second color on this nail. I should probably put down this orange stick. So let's... Okay. Is that okay? Please be okay. Hey, that's actually not bad. I can work with this. Okay. And the reason I'm doing this little step, I think I kind of explained, but if you were to try and just clean off the part that's on your skin without first breaking it away from the part that's on your nail, you might very well pull up your entire design and be super pissed off. So, and the ones where I'm only getting, you know, about half of the design, definitely have less. I mean, like the big raised problem is the part in the center of the nail, or the center of the veil. The veil. Okay, I need to just... Okay, let's actually unmount this. I need to... Because if nothing else, I'm gonna at least need to be able to record, Topcoat and stuff. So, let's see what is on here taking up so much room. Oh, well, the entire whole last tutorial. Why did I not delete this? Usually... I mean, I have a decent-sized memory card in here. I think it's 16 gigs. Which is about an hour's worth of video at this camera's HD setting. And usually, when I upload everything to the computer, I also take a minute and clean off the memory card, at least from the videos, so that I then have enough room to do the next tutorial. And for some reason, apparently, I did not do that. Part of the reason I usually do it on the computer is because, like, on the camera, you can only do it one at a time. Kidney cross-sections, but glittery. Okay, I do not know what a kidney cross-section looks like, so I'm gonna have to take your word on that. Alright, let's just get the camera back on here. Okay. Get back in at an appropriate zoom level. It's another very frustrating thing sometimes. Like if you go to viewing the pictures, or if you power the camera off, if it powers itself off, it'll remember what zoom level you were at, but if you power it off yourself, it forgets, and then I want it to be like as close to the previous zoom as possible. Okay. I think, okay, this is what's gonna change. This is gonna be blue instead of purple. That's probably not... Okay, I shouldn't even have tried that. I tried to cross out the purple, even though I had a feeling it wasn't fully dry. That's what was bothering me. It's like, okay, so there's like 7 sections of fireworks, and I've got 4 colors. So most of the colors were 2 of each, except then there are some that only had 1, but then on that hand, I had it so that there were actually 3 spots of purple. And that was too much purple. I mean, I love purple, but... Okay, so now we're going to be going more purple. And you definitely would not have to stick to one color at a time. Might actually be easier to just do, like normally I would do, you know, pinky, ring, middle, index, thumb, each hand. It's just, for personal preference. And we'll try to make this one at least as little as the one on my index finger. We'll have to see. I'm still reserving judgment on this manicure until it's fully done. I'm a little bit skeptical, honestly. But this thumb turned out so good, you guys. You see? No. You'll have to wait. I don't want to stick it in front of the other camera because I'm recording. It's like getting the webcam and my tutorial camera lined up just properly so that they're both shooting what I'm recording, but not interfering with each other is kind of tricky. So let's is this ready here? Okay. We're gonna go quite toward the top here so that we get a little small section, hopefully. Get off of there. Okay, so this one, we're going to aim for this upper corner of the nail. So like this. That's pretty good. Went pretty much where I wanted it. And this probably is pretty easy to clean up too. I can kind of just skip the acetone and use the orange stick to break it away at the side right there. And then get it off of the underside of my finger there. That's good. Okay. And this one will be the last purple. And this one is going to go right next to that one, so that when my fingers are like together, it looks almost like that could be like part of the same firework going across two different nails. And if you're like impatient, you can blow on the polish. I've kind of been avoiding that because, I mean, I'm already kind of heavily breathing on the polish. And I don't want it to get too dry. Because I feel like when I was doing some of the tests, like when it's too dry, it doesn't even want to stick to itself, for one thing. But it also, like, aside from not sticking to itself in the middle, like, the veil wrinkles don't seem to almost wrinkle as much. There. I want this, again, to be kind of a small section, so I'm not going directly in the middle. I'm going kind of up a bit. Get off. There we go. So, for this one, we're going to be going for this corner of my middle nail. And wait, like this. So, there. There, so now like when these two are together, they look like they're part of the same firework. And I think both of those really came out very well. Better than some of the other partial ones. Just be careful when you're cleaning up that you're not stuck anywhere. Like I said, you don't want to pull it off of your finger. Okay. So, the gold is done, and the purple is done. Now we are moving on to probably pink, I guess. Probably didn't have to have these sitting here open the whole time. So now, get a drop of the pink. And that'll be going some here. We're gonna have one down here over on the pinky. And then another. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. These two have kind of like restored my faith in this manicure. I'm still not completely pleased with it, but it's gonna be okay. Part of it is just that because of the finish, I feel like at certain angles you're not seeing the veil design, you're just seeing scattered hollow. But I mean, obviously the veil technique is a lot more forgiving than water marbling, and you definitely don't have to use hollows to do this. So again, we're going for kind of a smaller section here. And we're going to pinch right there. So this one is going to go on the bottom corner of this nail. So I want to turn you like that. We got a little bit of overlap. I wanted it a little bit farther down in the corner. That was not an ideal dip. And we've got like the gap lined up perfectly right at the end. Like right next to the cuticle. I'm not happy with that dip completely, but I'm also... I kind of expected there to be some issues with this. So I'm not in a mental space where I'm like, oh my god, I need to redo that whole nail. Because I'm really not up for that today. Some days, if I'm like really having a perfectionist day, what I would do is either take it off and start over, or just go ahead and like paint black over that and just marble, do another veil over the top. Like that's like the cheater way to do it. If you don't like it, just paint over it. Just hide it. And then this pink is going to be going on the corner of the pinky. That should be okay. Again, we're going to... Like the half ones, I find a lot more difficult than the full ones. And that's something that you're not necessarily going to know before you get to the manicure. Like, there's a lot of things that you can practice or that you can test before you get started. But some things are just, you just have to see how they actually work out on your nail. So, less than half, tiny, tiny pinch here. Because, again, remember, this is for the pinky. And we want it on the bottom, kind of outside corner. So, spin it around a little bit. And these are so easy to move because they're just not, they're not anchored to any side like a water marble usually would be. Dip in. And that's okay. I could wish that it was slightly more onto the nail. Like that the center was more, like just a couple millimeters the other direction. And this one, like when I'm breaking it with the acetone and when I'm not is completely, I don't want to say completely arbitrary, but it just is on a case-by-case basis. Like if it looks like it's really stuck, then I'm going to go in with the acetone. If it looks like it's just kind of barely together, then I might just go ahead and use the orange stick to break them apart. So, and I wish water marbles were that easy to clean up. Like, if I didn't have to mess around with like liquid latex anymore, I would be so happy. Okay, so is that the last? No, we want one more pink one on my left hand. Is this the only pink one on my left hand? I think it is. Oh, and we're running a little bit short of time here, but I think my memory card will hold out for me to finish this manicure. I mean, the waiting is the hardest part. Wow. Is it was it like just after they opened the incentive, Jerry? Or like, we only have 90 more minutes to go and we need this much? What was the whole incentive 150, or was that like the final push? That's still like the biggest incentive. Holy crap. And that starts at what, 5-ish? I kind of want to see that. Oh, it's not even 4 o'clock yet. That's why Jerry's still here. I've got plenty of time. Okay, that needs a little bit more drawing. It was the whole incentive. Wow. Is it a is it a race, Jerry, or just a run? I don't even know anything about it other than I heard that it was going to be like a huge incentive. It's been a while since I watched any. I mean, like, there was that tournament going on, and I was watching that for a while, and then I don't know, I missed the end of the tournament. So, okay, for this one, we're gonna be going for bottom corner of my middle nail, like, God, sometimes when it's just drifting around the cup, too, this is kind of a challenge that you don't normally experience with water marbling, because you can, with water marbling, God, I don't know if that made it. That's okay. With water marbling, generally your design is anchored to the sides of the cup, and you don't have to worry about it drifting around. You can turn it to whatever way is easiest to dip your finger, and it'll stay right put. Necrovate world record holder, any percent. So it's like an hour run. I think, isn't world record like 103 now? You could restream it, Jerry. Or catch the VOD. I feel like there are certain things, and I don't even know, like certain things I really wanted to see live, and other things I was like, I could catch the VOD. But some things I can see how it would be really fun to watch. Now the camera's battery is dead. That's why I cut off that time. I was like, what? You're not to that. This one applied pretty well. I again didn't get quite as close as I wanted on the cuticle, but it's a pretty good placement. Soccer is done. You like them, Mega? I'm glad you like them. I'm trying to fall in love with them. They're not my favorite, just mainly because there's a couple placements that I'm not fully happy with. Okay, we've got. Wait, what was I gonna? Okay, all we have left is the turquoise, and oh, are you gonna try and push and finish Xenoblade today? That would be cool. You're close. I know you're close. I don't know if it's like, I remember in 2, like when you, when you got to the end, it seemed like the last couple chapters went very quickly. Like, I feel like there were a couple chapters that weren't even anything other than just like a bunch of cutscenes. I just need to, So I wonder if that'll, I don't know if it was like that in 1. I guess I'll see soon. Anybody wants some good role-playing action, go follow Jerry. Oh, thank you, Coney. Take it off and start over. An 8-hour nail stream. Well, you know, I'm gradually building up my endurance. Last Sunday's Hollow Knight stream was almost 6 hours, although I took a pretty long break in the middle of it. And, it went pretty well, actually. So, longer nail streams may be coming. You just want it to be over. You know, sometimes, Jackie, but some of the Xenoblade cutscenes are so good, or at least so entertaining. The one that always will stick with me in 2, for some reason, are some of the, like, I don't want to say dumber, but sillier, weird crap like, Dahlia, can I touch you? That little kid will forever be in my head. Oops. Alright, so we're going to be doing an overlapping turquoise one on these two nails, and a big old turquoise one on this thumb, and a turquoise down in this corner, and then we're going to be done, I think. Well, not done. Obviously, the manicure needs cleanup and top coat and all these good things. Okay. And how much... I want to make sure... Hello, camera. I want to make sure I have enough room on here to at least do top coat. In some cases, it's fine if I can't completely fit like intro and outro, because I can record those later. I'll record those off stream so you guys don't have to watch me struggle. Because I swear to God, the intro and outro... Like, I don't write myself a script or anything, but I have certain points I want to cover, and for some reason it's so much harder than recording a tutorial. I fumble over the words and end up having to do like 4 or 5 attempts. All my ice is melted. I'm sad. Yeah. Yeah, Jackie. I mean, a good RPG will balance it out for you so you're not just like stuck in cutscenes forever. You get a few, you get to go do some shit, and then you get a few more. Intro and outro should just be Beanie's face. I know, since he's not in here. I'm gonna call him again, you guys. Maybe we can get a Beanie in here today. I'm pretty sure he's just in the next room, and he's not in here because I have the air conditioning on. But it's still, like, so even with my air conditioning on, it's still 78 degrees in here, and all the ice in my water is melted. And, it's bearable. It's better than outside, but, an ice maid. It's bearable in here, but I mean, I could stand for it to be a bit cooler, honestly. Alright, this beautiful... You know, I should have made this blue. Yeah, that's going to be my regret for this manicure. I should have made this blue on this ring finger instead of this purple that we knew might give us issues. Of course, I did make it on this thumb, so maybe that's okay. Well... 102, ugh. I can relate, Dinosaur, because yesterday it was like 99 here with a 102 degree heat index. And like I went outside for very limited, like from the house to my car, from my car to the library and back, and then like to my grandma's house, from my car to her house. And just that little bit of exposure to the heat, I feel like exhausted me. Nice. I should probably have like a... Actually, let's do the center here. This will be the thumbnail, which is going to be the whole nail. I should probably get a nicer... Oh, so stuck. Like a nicer bottle to use that'll stay a little cooler while I'm streaming. I think that should work. It looks, I'm a little bit skeptical, it looks a little bit warped, but we're gonna go for it. Oh, I don't know if that was a good idea or not. So here we go. You can see a little bit of the nipple. The peak, the peak of polish. We're gonna press it out. Yeah, that's not ideal. It's okay. It's okay. Just okay. I'm gonna break the edges on this one because it's really attached all around. Whoa, that was a little bit much on the acetone. And then go ahead and get this little bit excess off of here. Whoa. Let's get this next one drying out here. Thank you, Jerry. Have a wonderful stream. I'll probably see you in a little bit once I get these wrapped up. A smaller polish mountain. You know, people were saying, oh, you need to do water mountain, polish mountain. I bet a veiled polish mountain would also be pretty cool, because you should kind of be able to see some of the layers underneath the layers because of the way that the veil works. Okay, it needs a little bit more drying. Spider webs, that was my jam, dude. Walking into spider webs. Okay, that was okay. Just forget you ever heard that. But I do know the song. Continue. No. Nope. Nope. That's not gonna be happening. We're gonna try and make this one small because this is gonna be a tip one for the top tip of this nail. So we're gonna turn it. Sometimes these kind of placements are like the hardest for me. It's like for some reason I'm looking right at it and I'm like, wait, where do I want to place this? Like this. Don't stick. Ah, that was not bad. That actually lined up quite a bit better than some of the other double dips. And we can just kind of scrape it off of the underside here. Okay. One more? Two more. Two more. Alright. It's all your fault. I screen my phone calls. No matter who calls. Okay. Forget you heard that also. Yeah, I love me some No Doubt. I still love me some Gwen Stefani. Her albums are good too. But, I mean, I don't think I'm the only one that wouldn't mind a No Doubt reunion. I mean, I don't think they're technically, like, you know, broken up. They just, like, are doing their own things, right? No, God, that's the dumbest freaking... No, yeah, I mean... It's not that dumb, because I'm sure it made her a whole bunch of money, but come on, how you gonna make a song out of that? Got another nice small one here. I feel like I am getting... God, just as I'm saying I'm getting better, I get stuck here. I do think I'm getting slightly better. Alright, so this one is going to go for this corner of this nail. So we're going to want to turn it like this. Whoa, that almost... That almost screwed up the design, I think. It kind of like I'd grabbed it with my orange stick and it kind of like almost pulled it right off my nail. I feel like the one with the blue and the pink is actually looking nicer than the one with the blue and the purple because there's a little bit more contrast to it. And that's something I could have tested if I'd done more testing. Like, how do all these colors look immediately right next to each other or actually layered on top of each other instead of kind of just going for it right on the nail? But again, it's like some days I just really want to play with polish and I really am interested in experimenting. Some day experimenting is more like a chore and I really just want to get my manicure done. And today is, I mean, it's not exactly excuse me, a chore, but I'm definitely not in experimenter mode. That could be a name. You guys could all be my little bananas. Could get a banana. There probably is a banana emote. No, in fact, I'm positive there's a banana emote. Let's there you go. There's your banana. Alright. Last one here. It's another small one. Get just that little section. Detach there. That went well. And we're going for the bottom of this nail. So I think, no wait. God, like I said, sometimes it's like I'm practically looking right at it, but gotta like, stop turning. Stay still. There we go. Okay. Okay. This one, let's see. I think maybe I can. No, I need a little bit of acetone to help me out here to break this one. There we go. Okay, how much room do I have left on my memory card? 6 minutes. So we'll record a little bit of the cleanup and then try to save room. Oh, actually, I was gonna... What do you guys think? I was talking about using a little bit of gold to fill in the center, and I don't know if it's really... No, it would bug me. Let's, plural bananas. Yeah, I used to, I knew there was a banana emote because... Here we go. The moons in Super Mario Odyssey, some of them, the triple ones, look like a little grip of bananas. And see, now this is the type of thing, I mentioned I was doing this in the tutorial, but because, really, strictly because I'm running out of camera battery, I'm not going to show this part in the tutorial. So we're just going to clean up just that little black dot that you could see, so it's not... I mean, to me, it's a glaring error. I mean, to everybody else, probably not. And I think, let's just grab a little bit of this and see if we can kind of like... No, that really didn't make much difference. I thought maybe if I added just a bit where the technical center of the firework was, that it would like add a little bit more definition, but it really doesn't. And I don't see any other spots where I need to fill in, so we're gonna call that done. The lightning bolt is close enough. Bananas in pajamas. Like bananas in a pattern of a pair of pajamas, or like an actual banana wearing pajamas? God, I'm gonna finish this whole thing. Is this even bigger than my normal bottle? I don't know. So, we were breaking things up as we went along. This is really... Well, we'll deal with it. I was gonna say this is really wet, but it doesn't really matter. We were cleaning up as we went along just because it made it slightly easier to get it off of our skin. But as you can see, we've still got some junk around the edges, so we're going to clean up a little bit more, including, I mean, my very messy black application. Ribbons. I'm not, if you're trying to get me to start singing that one, it's not going to work. It's not. I refuse. Sometimes I I end up doing impressions against my better judgment on stream, and then after the fact I'm like, oh my god, Colette, what are you thinking? Why in the world would you do that? I mean, it's not, I don't think I'm like the worst singer, but I'm also not like delusional. I'm not gonna be trying out for American Idol or anything like that. But we're just gonna clean up, get in there, get a nice clean cuticle if we can. These are hollows that are very much on the glitterier side. When I wore one of these as a manicure, I wore it with regular base coat, and I kind of regretted it when it came to taking it off, because while it wasn't as bad as like a full-on glitter, it was worse than I anticipated, and took some extra time and extra elbow grease to really get my nails, to get it off my nails completely. It was like one of those polishes where you use some polish remover and you maybe leave the cotton sit on your nail for a minute, and then you wipe, and a lot of the color is gone, and left behind is like this sub-layer of glitter. And then you have to like do another round of polish remover. But it was gorgeous. It was really gorgeous. I don't remember if I posted the polish in motion for that. Sometimes, it's like I'll record something and then when I look at it, I'm like, that still doesn't really capture it as perfectly as I would want to, and I don't end up actually KP's Bon Appetit song? Oh wait, have you seen the video for that where she's like being made into dinner? That's a little bit weird. I mean, what? And did I mention what? But hey, it's what kids like nowadays, I guess, right? I'm not a Katy Perry hater, but some of her songs are a little bit out of my taste, shall we say? Yeah. Some of these, like where we have a little peak right at the cuticle, is really being very stubborn to clean up. And I'm not recording anymore. I don't usually record the whole cleanup. I'm gonna actually need some more polish remover. This is so stubborn. I mean, I guess that's part of, what makes a good performer, right? Not just, like, being able to sing, but being able to sing with a straight face. If you're either singing something hilarious, or something raunchy, or probably even harder than both of those, excuse me, something sad. Like, remember I saw Kelly Clarkson one time, like, almost break down singing one of her songs. Like, she made it through, but, like, it was a couple spots where you could tell, like, oh my god, she's, like, almost about to cry. And, there's a lot of songs that have, like, very, either emotional because of what the song is talking about, or just emotional because of what led the artist to maybe write that song, or just, like, whatever, association they have with it. Like, I think that would be really hard. Even my mom said, like, she's in her church choir, and one of the things she said is hardest is when somebody requests for the choir to sing at a funeral. And the choir director told them, she said, don't look at the family while you're singing. Like, you might be okay, and then if you look over and you see somebody else crying, like, you might start crying, and like, hello, you're performing. You can't be sobbing right now. And that's kind of part of the reason why she said the choir does not always sing at funerals, but if it's like the funeral of a former choir member, or if somebody specifically requests them. What? Huh. Thought I heard something. Thank you, Coney. Make him go, oh, oh, oh. Yeah, music is very emotional. And I mean, I'm a music lover of most genres. I would say pretty much every single genre I could find some artist or some song that I like. I mean, obviously, not any person is going to like every single song ever. Even of any, you know, oh, my favorite genre or whatever. But, I mean, I think it's good to have a wide musical taste. And, I mean, I pretty much have my parents to thank for that. You know, sitting around jamming to their records when I was a child. And even like now, like my dad is kind of bad. Like, he is such an old man, dude. Like, I tease him about it all the time. Like, you know, he's sitting around watching black and white westerns all the time. He's always ready to tell somebody about how he's retired and he doesn't have a bedtime, and, you know, just scoffs at all modern technology. Won't use a cell phone for anything other than making phone calls. My mom, on the other hand, well, she resists certain technology. Like, she does not have a cell phone. Like, she stays pretty up to date, like, musically and stuff. And, you know, she's always down to hear some new music. Sometimes my dad, it's like if I'm driving us all somewhere, it's like he'll hear something. He'll be like, oh, this is actually good. I'm like, yeah, they didn't stop making good music 20, 30 years ago, Dad. Just because you think some of the new stuff is bullshit doesn't mean that it's all bad. Yeah, movie scores, or even just like music of video game music. Sometimes that can really, like with Hollow Knight has such beautiful music that absolutely fits the game. It's an amazing, I even considered, I was like, do I want to purchase the soundtrack? Because you can get them like bundled together for slightly a discount. And I didn't, and I'm kind of regretting it. I mean, I obviously could still go buy it, but it would be slightly more expensive than if I bought them together. I think I've still got kind of some glitter residue around my cuticles, so I'm going to go with a Q-tip. Sometimes that can help to actually pick up like random glitter that's still trying to be stubborn, than just going with the brush. But I think I'm just about done with the cleanup, which means we're going to be coming to what should be the best part of this manicure, you guys. The top coat. The top coat where these hollows should make or break this design. Old NES theme covers. That would be cool. That would be really cool. And then, too, it's like, you know, you add in the whole nostalgia factor. But I think music, and I mean, even most of your senses, like, you hear something and it reminds you of something else. Like my mom always says, certain sound of slamming screen doors always reminds her of being at the cabin when she was little. And, you know, certain smells will remind you of things. I definitely think, I mean, your memory is more than just like your visual recollection. It's more triggered by other senses and other factors. Okay. Just about done here. Okay. Boy, our napkin is in sad, sad shape today, isn't it? Nice, Jackie. That's so cool. Yeah, I don't think you're ever, like, too old for music. You know, and you're only too old for new music if you act like an old person. Like my dad. It was kind of funny because it's like he's so, like, out of the loop on certain things that whenever he does something that's, like, you know, current, So I was like, oh, good job, Dad. Alright, I'm gonna give this just a minute since I just swiped under there with polish remover. I can feel it kind of damp. Like when you clean underneath your nails, if you get some stuff under there, or even if you are using the brush and have like too much acetone and it kind of flows under here, sometimes if you don't give it a minute to wait before you do your top coat, you can end up getting like the polish that's been softened by the acetone like in your top coat or on the brush. And I'd kind of like to avoid that. Hold on just a minute, you guys. Well, I'm still right here. I'm just kind of peeping out my window to see if I could... I thought I heard something again. I'm completely going to have to go, like, check the house when I'm done. Might be the puppy. He probably is just about ready for a break, so it's good that we're wrapping up here. Before I get to the top coat, I'm also going to take this moment to, make sure all my nipples are pressed flat. And we'll see after we do the first layer of top coat if we've got a nice smooth finish or if we possibly need a second layer of top coat. I don't object to doing 2 layers of top coat usually, because sesh dries so fast, and because sometimes having a slightly thicker like layer of polish does help the peel off base coat to give you a really neat peel. So, gosh, turn my air back up to high after this also. Like, it's filtered for you guys so you can't hear it, but I need to be able to hear myself think. So I turned it to low just for while I'm recording. Maybe even be able to, well, I don't know. I suppose I could check. Let's take a look here. See what the actual current weather is doing out here. It's supposed to rain later. I think I mentioned that. Of course, I could just... Okay. This is probably quicker than trying to go on my phone. 85. Wind is blowing. Current humidity is 57%. So, that gives me a lot of information that actually doesn't agree with the Weather Channel app. I wonder where you getting your information, Nightbot? I was kind of interested. Hello? You guys, my phone sucks so bad. Like, it's open, but like it's not scrolling. I wanted to see the heat index. Because it's been quite humid, quite high dew points, and you know, the heat index is practically, I would say, more important than the actual regular temperature this time of year. Are we? Yeah, we're in a slightly cleaner quadrant of the napkin, and I usually do get a fresh napkin just for recording my intro and outro, just for neatness sake. Finally, we're going to finish off with a top coat, and as usual, I'm using Sesh Feet. Alright, guys. Look at this awesomeness come to life. Even the black looks luxer. Is that a word? More luxe with the top coat on it. It's like certain areas where it looked like there was more color. Like this, I'm already liking this better with the top coat. That's great. Oh yeah, look at how much that pink pops out. Well, I hope you can see in the camera. Yeah, you can see. Sometimes it's like I'm looking in person or I'm looking on my other camera and then I forget to check what you guys are seeing. That's, I think, looking really nice. Get this gold one. The gold one might actually be my favorite. Looks so nice. Alright. Other hand. Sometimes I'll include both hands in the tutorial video. Usually I'll just include one. We'll see once I actually pull all this off of the camera, how well it actually shows. Like, if it looks as impressive as it looks to me in person, then I'll probably leave in both hands. Otherwise, usually I mean, like, the left hand is the star of the show. The right hand is in pretty good condition right now, but come on, you're still a Cindy. Still a Cindy hand. And I wish I knew who came up with that term, because it's somehow so appropriate for the hand that gets no camera love. The serious Colette tutorial voice. Yeah, I mean, it's like, part of it is just trying to speak, like, clearly. Because, I mean, there are certain points where, yes, you can re-record, like if I fumble over my words, but in certain cases, like once you're actually painting something, you can't unpaint it and start over. So I try to be very careful that I'm speaking clearly, which I don't worry about as much, like for the live stream, because the live stream is more casual and it is more in the moment. Pretty. I really like how these turned out. I mean, they're not flawless. They're not. But they're pretty freaking cool. If nothing else, they're shiny and oh, that was almost really bad. I was saying earlier, and I don't know, Ribbons, I don't know if you're still here or if you went to watch Jerry, like how fast Seche Vite dries. So you saw, I mean, I painted my left hand, then I painted my right hand. I can touch lightly on this pinky, and I'm not leaving any fingerprints. It's not fully dry. Like if I were to take the end of my paintbrush and, you know, I don't know why you would do that, but if you were to gouge something against it, you probably would leave a dent. But as long as you're just like a light touch or a very smooth touch, you're gonna be okay. You know, I would say for myself, like a plain manicure. What do we have? Oh, the orange sticks are in here. I'm like, what is under my napkin? Like a plain manicure, which I would consider just like a base coat, you know, 2 coats of color and a top coat. I'd say you could go to bed within 20 minutes or a half an hour with Seche Vite and be free of any any pillow marks. Oh, I'm so glad you guys like these. And I'm glad you guys hopefully also enjoyed the stream. I mean, it's like as I'm going, I'm like, well, okay, I can only do so much testing before I've gone out and tested a bunch of stuff. Like, you know, these fireworks, I tested these a couple weeks ago when we were messing with other things. I need to actually fit in that tutorial, and if I were to test something else today and then try and do this tutorial afterwards, number one, it's so hard for me. Got like got a blurb on there. It's so hard for me. I always think I'm gonna do it, like take a short break and then record a tutorial later, and a lot of times I don't end up recording a tutorial till Sunday, which now is really not cool because I'm gonna try and stick with that 6 o'clock Sunday stream for Hollow Knight. So I'm glad that you guys enjoy watching me do the tutorials live. I mean, it is like I said, there's a lot that I don't necessarily include in the finished, condensed, edited tutorial. Yeah, for sure, Coney. Like on Twitch, one of the things I like is that the VOD is available like right away. Like right now, you could already go into the videos and watch the beginning of this stream. Or of course, it will get archived onto YouTube. I really probably shouldn't use that word because YouTube is not an archival service, people. Don't think your videos are safe because you put them on YouTube, but it'll probably go up on YouTube on Monday. Yeah, these are distractingly pretty. I don't know that they're all recognizable as fireworks, but they're beautiful. This one really is. It's not, I wish, do I have... No, I don't really have anything. I should probably get something handy that I can use as a black background, because I think in some cases that might help the webcam. Dang it. That was okay. I like kind of clashed my nails together. Sometimes that might be a problem and leave a dent, but Sesh is already dry enough that it was light enough. It didn't cause any issue. I think a darker background would in some cases help the webcam to capture some of this awesomeness. But you'll be able to see the tutorial will be up tomorrow. I'm going to say if I could edit it tonight, it'll probably go up around 5 o'clock tomorrow. Since I do record it on stream and there are some certain restrictions with Twitch exclusivity for 24 hours, that's part of my consideration, but it turns out it's a pretty minor consideration anyway, because if I were to record it Sunday, I probably wouldn't finish editing until 7 or 8 o'clock and not get it up until 9 or 10, as you guys know, which I don't think is really the ideal time for uploading videos, but I'm really trying to stick with my Sunday schedule for videos on YouTube. I know we were talking about maybe doing a little bit of testing with duochromes, but I don't have any handy. So I'm just going to have to kind of make a mental note. Magnetic? Yeah, they do kind of. I like the 2-color nails. And I mean, I kind of accomplished like the illusion that I was looking for, like that this is one firework over 2 nails, or that this purple one is over these 2 nails, but I think I do prefer the single ones. I especially prefer, honestly, this one. And I don't have enough experience with the technique to know if that's the polish, if that was this particular drip, or what the deal is. The thing that I do feel like was a really good takeaway from today was the way that I was pinching it and then kind of pinching the sides closed so that you couldn't see that naked area. Like when I did the black and white one, some people really didn't like how you could see the pinch area on the sides of the nail. And I think that secondary edge pinch really worked to solve that. So I think that is just about it for today. Let's see where we can send all you lovely people. Let's see. A lot of times during GDQ, things are it's like things get very, what is the word? Like so many people are at GDQ that there aren't a lot of people streaming. Oh, hi Sunburnt. Yeah, the end result is fireworks-ish. Fireworks inspired. How about that? That's what we'll say. You put inspired and then it doesn't matter if it looks like it or not. Trying to decide where I want to send you guys. It's like I don't want to like just only host the same people all the time, but I also don't want to send you guys to somebody that I don't really know. So I think, what do you guys think? Creative or games today, you guys? I kind of usually tend to go creative on my creative days and games on my game days. Definitely, Coney. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, streaming is stressful and it's a lot of work, but it's rewarding and it's fun. And yeah, for sure. I mean, if you want to, I think you're in our Discord, yeah? Can post your channel in the social channel, the Twitch channel, and your Twitch channel in the social Discord channel. And I don't think I'm out of line to say you would probably get a couple followers right off the bat, because we have quite a few nail polish fans in here, and there does not appear to be very much nail polish on Twitch. When I originally searched, I think one very elderly VOD showed up, and there really wasn't a community and all that stuff, so... Oh, do you already stream art? So it would be like you're new to streaming. See, you guys, we gotta go follow Coney for her art. What kind of art do you do? I love art streams. I mean, I follow a lot of different kinds of streamers on Twitch. A lot of video game streamers, because that's actually where I started, and via hosts and stuff is kind of how my following list has grown, but more and more creative. Oh, yeah, the cameras are not too bad. The one I'm using for my hand cam, if you go on like the Amazon My Equipment list, it'll show up. It's a Logitech C920, and it's decent. I'm not gonna say it's the greatest, but I mean it's decent. It can get pretty close. Pretty good picture quality, I think. But there are a lot of different choices out there when you start looking at what camera do I want to get, or what kind of equipment do I want to get. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Coney. Right now, I'm thinking I want to get a really good picture of Clark and have just another, like, picture emote. I'm kind of thinking about drawing my own, but I don't know if my art skills are quite up to it, so... No, don't feel bad at all. I mean, it's think of it as networking rather than self-advertising. I mean, it's not like you're out there spamming, and I mean, it really depends. There are some people that are absolutely like, you know, do not self-promote yourself on my channel, do not self-promote yourself in my Discord. For me, it's like, this is a community, and it's not just a community here on my channel, here on my Twitch. You know, it's a huge community, and on other social media spots, I think a lot of you guys that maybe don't necessarily stream have Instagrams or have Twitters, and this actually reminds me, I wanted to thank you guys for having so much fun in the Discord. I know I don't always like have much to say in there. A lot of times I tend to check it at odd hours. But I do try to at least read everything that's posted and look at all the awesome nail polish and manicure pics. Like, it brings me a lot of joy to see you guys enjoying each other. The community aspect is one of the things that drew me to streaming, and like, we have a pretty small community right now, but I think we have a freaking awesome community. And that's because of you guys. I don't... We are naughty, that's fine. We're adults and we can be naughty. I mean, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do if some of my younger viewers come in, but I have the maturity warning on after the testicle incident. Let's see here. I think today I'm gonna send you guys, hopefully you enjoy it if you stick around. I know a lot of you say that you are only on Twitch for me, and you don't care about anybody else or anything else. But today, if you need a little bit of background calmness, we are going to, well, I am going to host the Bob Ross stream, which is all Bob Ross, well, mostly Bob Ross all the time. Every now and then there are some episodes that are other people painting, and every now and then there are some, like, actual live streams, not just broadcasts of his past episodes, of people painting in Bob Ross style. So, so I'm gonna thank you all for watching, as always. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna let this dry a little bit more. I'm still kind of undecided if I want to add a second layer of top coat. They're looking really good. Sometimes it's kind of easier to see, like, just from the reflections, that the reflections are all smooth, so that must mean the nails are all smooth. Record my intro and outro a little bit later, and this actual tutorial will be up on YouTube tomorrow. Yeah, as always, thank you for watching. If you're interested in video games and watching me die, there will be a Hollow Knight stream tomorrow evening. If I don't see you then, I hope I'll see you next, well, probably midweek, actually. As I'm saying that, I was going to say next Saturday for more nail art, but probably the part 1 of my Hollow haul featuring the China Glaze OMG Flashback Collection and comparisons with the original OMG colors, that will probably be midweek. Maybe Wednesday, 4th of July stream, or otherwise probably Thursday. So maybe I will see you then. Otherwise, I'm thinking next weekend will be that reciprocal gradient that I wanted to do today. I really appreciate all you guys showing up and all you guys chatting with me. Like I said, it's perfectly fine to lurk, but having some feedback and some interaction, I feel like does help my anxiety a little bit, because otherwise you feel kind of like you're speaking into a void. And yeah, I don't know. I'm so bad at goodbyes. It's like the typical, stereotypical long Minnesota goodbye. But thank you all so much, and enjoy a little bit Bob Ross.